live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
So let's talk about these football players who like to fight with their helmets on.
Like, I thought this was football, not UFC.
Yeah.
Like, let me just be clear. Like, we are playing football. This isn't MMA or any of that, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with them? And we can start with the Saints versus the Bears brawl.
Because that's the real one. Like, that's the one that it just really like,
yeah.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Javon Wims.
Yeah.
And this is the video that we see. We don't see all of the other stuff. We see the video.
Right.
Javon Wims runs up while Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has his back turned. Runs up, punches him in the side of the helmet.
Sucker
pauses,
punch, y'all.
Sucker punch. Pauses, and then punches 2 more times.
Right.
And he was suspended. He was kicked out of the game and suspended for this behavior.
Right.
Now, his allegations were that he was spat on by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And being someone who's been spit on during the football game.
What?
Yeah. High school and college.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Somebody wouldn't have lips. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Shout out to A&T. You got a classy organization down there. I'm just playing. I know I love all my black colleges, A&T included. Even though y'all don't have the greatest homecoming on earth, y'all need to cut that out. I had to slide that in there. No.
I went to a PWI. I have nothing to say.
Oh, no, we're going to get you to a Howard homecoming. We're going to get you to a Howard homecoming. Okay. As a matter of fact, it'd be dope if next year, if we can all go back outside.
Right.
To do the episode of the podcast during Yard Fest.
Let's go.
Dope, right?
Let's go. Yeah. Lord, let us get back outside.
Right.
Can we get off punishment, please?
Right. I promise I'll clean my room. No, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
But I was saying, having been spat on,
oh my God.
Like, I reacted immediately.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you feel the spit come, like, you automatically turn red. And so the time between when he was spat on and when he actually reacted, the span of time was 11 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, we don't know what happened one way or the other, but I just feel like you wouldn't wait for 11 minutes to retaliate after being spit on.
But I gave you a scenario on this last night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes people are really trying to do the right thing. And he could have really been like, no, I ain't even going. I'm going to just let that go. And then he just saw him standing in the middle of the field by himself. And it was just like, I can't let it go.
Yeah. My thing is,
saying,
if you have the self-control to say, I'm not going to do nothing in the moment, it's hard for me to see that you lose that self-control. I mean, it's possible, certainly, but it's hard for me to see that you lose, like, being spat on, like, in the moment, like, I feel like Garner's a immediate reaction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's me, it's immediate. But that's not everybody.
That's true. It may not be everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why it's just hard for me to wrap my mind around you waiting.
Yeah, right. Right. 11 whole minutes. Yeah. And all you did in 11 minutes was stir and brew. Right. And so that's why you know what I mean? You might not have hit him or retaliated at the moment because it was in the middle of a melee of people. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want to, so you waited on the opportunity when it was just you and him. Mm-hmm. While it was still a sucker punch, because he definitely wasn't expecting it.
Nah, not at all. And then even when you threw the next two, he had his hands in the air like, "Yo, y'all see
what
this?
happened?" Right.
Y'all see this?
So,
I'm sorry.
Don't start.
I'm not.
Okay. Okay. All right. I know what you're looking at. That's why I'm like, don't start. Do not start.
Seahawks versus the Niners.
Okay.
that was the next brawl.
This one, I get a little more.
Yeah.
Because, well, first of all, I get it if in the other situation that did happen. I don't agree with it. Mm-hmm. That being how you respond, period. It just is what it is. Yeah. But with this other one, I'm not condoning what they did.
Yeah.
But I
understand why they did it.
I do, because this is what I would have expected 2 weeks ago from the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Because Russell Wilson slid in, giving himself up on a play. And the dude, I mean, it was a launch. He didn't just come in. He literally had his feet off the ground, launching himself at him, and he hit him. And of course, there was an instant reaction from our cyborg.
Yeah.
He ran across the field. The cyborg ran, and for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about DK Metcalf. The cyborg ran across the field and just picked the dude up with one arm and threw him. Like,
oh man,
and that started a whole brawl.
Yeah.
But I need y'all. I mean, this is a high intensity anxiety time in our world right now, and so the thing that we have to understand is, though they play football, though they play sport, they're still humans, and they're still experiencing the same feelings and emotions and all the things that we're going through. And so I'm going to attribute all of this to just being more in our feelings than normal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, just because it's rare that you see, because we not only had 2 NFL brawls, we had a couple of college football brawls too. Mm-hmm. So everybody fighting. So I just feel like this is just, I'm going to attribute it to the emotional part of it. And so what I would say then is, talking to all of the athletes who might be listening to us, talk to somebody versus holding it in, because this is how it gets put out there. Yeah. When you don't let it out, like how you're feeling and what you're feeling needs to be. You have the right and the need to get out what's happening. I'm sorry, I'm going way deep here.
No, you're good. No,
but I feel like it's so true. Like, emotions are just heightened, and you need to be able to figure out ways to address it. If it's not talking to somebody, it's journaling. It's finding other things to do to get it out. You just gotta find it creative in different ways, outlets to get it out. And you know what I'm saying? And so I hope that we can find a way as a country to just woosah for a minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember your pressure points.
Right, woosah. For any of y'all bad boys.
Right. I know that's your movie. That's your franchise.
That's my franchise. Yes.
But when you were talking about that, and that's why I was like, nah, that's not too deep at all. Because the last post game I did was about assistance and needing to, like what we learn in football kind of goes counter to how we have to be like as citizens. Like, if you're injured, you're not supposed to say you're injured. Mm-hmm. If you're hurt by something, you're not supposed to say it. Like, you're supposed to tuck it in and keep
suck it in. Yeah.
And that's not. It's certainly not going to help you be a productive member of society.
It's counterintuitive, actually.
Yeah, very.
It's counterintuitive. Is what
really
it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that we this just was we talk about this all the time, how sport imitates life.
Yeah.
And so this was, to me, just some of we're seeing the boil over from the way people are feeling.
Right.
And it's just showing up in the sport. That's all.
Yeah. The emotions are high.
Ooh, yeah. It's pretty ugly right now. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's talk about your team, your second team. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Funny, we can talk about my team and your second team.
Yeah, right. So and I knew about the player from my second team.
Had no idea.
And I had no idea about the player from your second team. So for those of you who are listening to us, like, what are they talking about? Big Ben Roethlisberger is the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what what Stephanie has uncovered is that in his illustrious career, he has not received one MVP vote for the MVP of the NFL. Not one vote. Now, I have an answer as to why.
Yeah.
Now, it's honestly me playing devil's advocate because
it seems to be legit.
No. So it is legit, right?
Yeah.
But when I look back at his career and some of like the seasons that he's put up, I would have at least seen him, not necessarily winning it. I would have at least seen him getting a vote.
One, somebody.
And so I honestly and we talked about this last night, but I didn't think about this until this morning. It may be something more than his play as to the reason why he's not receiving MVP votes.
Are we talking about his past?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought about that, but okay, so we just finished talking about Trevor Lawrence and the whole Heisman and how they get those votes. It's from the media. I would hope that the media, who's supposed to be unbiased, I'm just saying.
No, I was looking like that because they supposed to be, but
supposed to be unbiased would not have allowed things that happen in his personal life to affect what they think of what he does on the field. Because if he were found, I'm saying these were alleged things that happened, right? So if he were found guilty, he wouldn't be in the league, right? He'd be in jail. So
with at least one of them, he didn't do jail time because he was able to work out a deal. Okay.
I mean, either way, he didn't go to jail for it.
Right.
And if Tom Brady has done things. We're not, listen. He's not an angel.
No, at all. And I ain't gonna put his business out there, but yeah.
That's why I didn't say it. I just said Tom Brady has done things. Nobody has a problem with giving him MVP. So you can't put that on him. That's not fair. If that is true, then that's crazy. I think your other reasoning is much more sound and valid for why he has not received, and it's the same reason. What other person we're talking about is Russell Wilson, who has never received one MVP vote. It is just mind blowing. Yeah. I don't even understand for either one of these dudes, because both of them are Hall of Famers. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that keeps you from seeing them completely and wholly for who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is it? And so your theory, please share.
So over the years, I think that while Ben Roethlisberger has played some great seasons, his defense has kind of always overshadowed his play, right? And I thought about this. I thought about one of those seasons where the Steelers, their defense was very average or below, right? The whole season was bad. Ben looked bad. They had some injuries, so he wasn't working with all of his weapons. But the Steelers just look bad as a team, and I think that's probably one of the things that goes against him as one of those great quarterbacks, is that he has benefited from having this overshadowing defense, right? And to equate it to someone like a Tom Brady, who he also has benefited from having these great defenses, I think the fact that Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, and you've seen moments in those Super Bowls where he's had to come from behind or something like that, is the reason why Tom Brady gets looked at one way and Ben Roethlisberger gets looked at a different way.
I don't know what it is. I need them to fix it, though.
Yeah.
This man needs to get help. Both of them. They need to at least be considered. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's almost popularity to me. It becomes that whole, that's always that argument about how people get picked for these things. It's about popularity. It's not about their play.
Right. And that's why my issue with the media voting on it, because when you said that they're supposed to be unbiased, I turn my for those of you who see me, right.
You did the okay, son.
Because for some of these people, if they don't have a great relationship with members in the media, especially those members who have a vote, it undoubtedly will sway the voters' opinion in their vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get too deep, but unconscious bias, right?
It exists.
It's a thing.
Lord, we see it right now.
Right? You know, so it's unfortunate that it would have to exist in something like this, where we know that Big Ben is among one of the handful of great quarterbacks in the league, not just right now, but honestly ever.
Period. Yeah.
You know,
because he's been solid his entire career.
Yeah.
Minus injury.
Right.
When he was hurt and he played hurt, you could tell. When he got hurt and couldn't play, then of course he couldn't play. But when he on the field and he good, he good.
He was good. Right. Yeah. So it just doesn't make sense that neither one of them have ever gotten a MVP vote. Even looking over the years at some of the players like who won it and who've been in the conversation, it's still like you scratch your head trying to figure out, okay, like, why not this year? Like, why not one vote?
Right.
One?
I mean, even in our conversation about this last night, and you looked it up, the year that he won the Super Bowl, I was like, well, why not that year? Well, the person he played in the Super Bowl that he lost the game won the MVP that year.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well,
that just, I'm not Aaron Rodgers, is, you know how I feel about him. So I'm good with him winning the MVP. However, one vote?
Yeah.
One. You're in the Super Bowl, sir. One.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And and the same probably has been said for Russell Wilson. You know, he benefited from having above average to historically great defenses.
Oh yeah,
right?
For sure. For sure.
What we see now is that he's legit.
Yeah, because the defense is meh. They're mad now.
They ain't even mad. They just bad.
I ain't trying to dog them like that. I just
listen. They got some injuries. Bobby Wagner is a staple at linebacker. Yeah. But they just bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna let you have that. They bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's move on to your guy. Your guy.
No. This is almost like calling Cheeto my president.
That is exactly what I equated it to. Dan's the man.
No.
So Dan Mullens, and I just don't understand why.
This is the second time we've had a conversation about this man in 3 weeks.
Third conversation.
In 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we first talked about him saying that he wanted to have people come to the game. Then he gets COVID. And now we're talking about him for his actions on Saturday. What?
Sir, I'm so disgusted by this. No, really, because you've been entrusted with these young men. And let's just be clear, majority of them are African American.
Yeah. At least 70%.
That's a majority.
Yeah.
A majority of them are African American. And you are conducting yourself like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So when we said about the brawls that happened, this is one of the brawls that happened.
Yeah.
Missouri and Florida on Saturday. And right at halftime. I really still don't even understand why it started. But either way, because it was close to halftime, what happened was you just saw this. It was the people that were on the field, and then it was just from both sidelines. You just see people come from both ways, just like, and it was a huge, and the coaches, everybody right in the middle of this. And guess who is also in the middle of this? Your head coach.
Mixing it up.
Now, I just don't even understand what the logic was in his head as the coach to get in the middle of this and be a part of this. And then continued conduct detrimental to your team is because that's what I feel like it is. You, as you finally break them up and y'all finally go to the locker room, you get to the tunnel, you come back out from the tunnel and you throw your hands up at the crowd like you're inciting them after the fight. Sir, this is conduct unbecoming of someone who is being paid the amount of money that you get to lead these young men and show them through your actions, because it's part of your job, how they should conduct themselves.
Yeah.
And this the last part. I'm even more pissed at college football and the NCAA for fining this man $25,000.
Dropping a bucket.
That is like getting a jaywalking ticket compared to the money that for us, it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But for when he gets paid, this is nothing. This was a slap. This wasn't even a slap. This was like a hit on the pinky. Not even a slap on the wrist. This was a hit on the pinky for him. And so I don't know if you all really want him to not conduct himself like this anymore. But in my mind, what you did is just give him fuel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I mean, take up so much time.
No, that's, yeah.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
When I was watching, I was pissed. Like, this is not happening.
My only thing about that is you don't want that from your head coach. Right? Now, your strength and conditioning coach, if he want to jump in there and sit up.
No.
But not your head
coach.
Like, your head coach is someone you assume is supposed to have the level head and who's supposed to, like, quell some of these situations, not the person inciting it. And, you know, it may have done something for that locker room, but I don't know. I like, from the outside looking in, it just don't look right. Even
if that was your point, it's still wrong. Yeah. You better figure out you need another strategy or you need to give up your job if you're not able to get your people to do what they need to do without being out here acting a fool.
It's over the top. I look at it in the same vein though as when you see a baseball team that is playing horribly, right?
Yeah.
And the manager goes out
Yeah.
And argues a call, and he goes nuts. Now he doesn't put his hands on the ump.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Right.
But
they get up in each other's faces. Some spitting is going on.
Right. He goes out there and he acts a fool and he gets kicked out. And in some cases, you see the team respond to that. Right. It just felt like this was over the top of that. Like,
and this is, and so but the equivalent to what you just said would be if that manager ran out onto the field to the kid on the base for the team that they were playing against. It was going at it with him.
Yeah.
Because you weren't going at it with the refs. You were going at it with the players from the other team.
Mm-hmm.
As the coach, head coach, you up here, whatever you did with the other, you were going at it against players from the other team. You didn't, this wasn't a coach against coach thing. This wasn't a coach against referee thing. No. So,
I wasn't equating like the that part of it. I mean, just like
I know what
motivational tactic, like, and so
not a good one.
It certainly was over the top, and you know he should have been reprimanded a lot more than $25,000 for something like that. I honestly feel like he should have been suspended at least one game.
At least one.
You know,
you need to go sit down. You need a timeout, sir.
Yeah,
that's a timeout. He needed a timeout.
Yeah, with what he's been saying and doing this season, he might need a permanent timeout.
Well, you know, that's my whole thing. I feel like he need to be gone anyway because I don't know if something's mentally going on. I don't know. You're not even, it doesn't make sense. The stuff that you're doing and saying, like, it doesn't make sense. And this hasn't been you. It's not like you were this person it's like you lost your mind somewhere. Yeah. I don't understand what's happening. And if he needs some help and the people around him are seeing it and you're not saying anything, you're complicit in this. So it's just, you know, I always got to take things back to mental health, but it's so true.
It really is.
So true. Speaking of mental health, yeah.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.